property was a single owner, and she now lives out in Sacramento. Had it rented for many, many years.
Okay.
Tenant just left. I think it's been at least 3 weeks
Since it's been out?
since they've been out. Realtors just kind of cleaned it out, and actually I got wind of this before the tenants left,
Okay.
that they were going to put it on the market. And so just by word of mouth, contacts,
Okay.
and say, hey Rick, this is coming available. You interested in looking at it?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, always.
And that's how we get our hands on these things early. You know, we lock it up and see what we can do. If the numbers make sense, and
Sure.
we can negotiate those numbers. Right?
Yeah.
And so the seller being, just doesn't want to be a landlord anymore. And she's out of town, doesn't want to have to manage it. She's like, whatever it takes, just here.
Wow.
Yeah. It's nice to get those kind of leads.
like
Right? They don't come around too often,
No.
but when they do, you do what you can to get it locked up, get it done, and see at that point, does it work for us, or do we go ahead and see if anybody else is interested?
Yeah.
That's what
Truth
it
be
is.
told, being a landlord is not that fun. And it's not, there's work. That's why people, I think,
Yeah.
always
Yeah,
decide that it's not what it looks like on TV.
yeah. So help yourself,
Yeah.
wander around. You'll feel some unevenness
Yeah.
on the floor here. It's a raised floor, but we are right next to the Delta, so this is common of the area. And in fact, I just drove around here. I saw driveways that are slanted down, way down there. So you would assume that the water level here is pretty high, and these things are common in the area.
I've fixed one up on Maple, and the back just was,
Yep.
we had to jack it all up, and
Yeah, so from this corner here to that corner of the house, there's a 6-inch drop. And we did get some reports already, if you guys had access to the Dropbox.
I hadn't seen
There's
it.
the reports and the repairs are in there as well.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm still
It's an
waiting.
engineer,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
They make
Yeah,
lots of
not just
they make-
your
Yeah.
your handyman making some suggestions and corrections.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Let me ask you a question. So
Yeah.
do you scrape these roofs, these ceilings?
If I was flipping the property, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt it.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Felt that drop.
This here is an addition that was
yeah.
done in 1984. It was permitted, they got it inspected, they got the rough ends inspected, but they never got the finals.
Never final.
Okay, it's common, a lot of people do that, they get to a point, hey, we got a permit, let's just close it up, and don't call for the final inspection. Okay, but the assessors will come, because the application has been submitted, they know that there's a permit in place, they will drive by when they see the addition, they'll check to see if the finals have been done,
Yeah.
although the record says no final records, the assessors know that it's built, they'll add it to
They
the
still can
total
ding you.
square footage, so they
Yeah.
can ding you for those extra taxes, right?
Absolutely.
So as a buyer, like if I was to buy this property, what is my responsibility for getting the process finished for this part of the room?
Yeah, you would have to check in with the building department.
Oh, okay.
Get that information, get the reports, and say, hey, how do I remedy this? How do
Yeah.
I have it so that it's recorded with a final inspection?
Mhm.
And they'll tell you, you may have to open up some walls just to make sure that everything is done right.
It's up to
But
code.
Given that there's an inspection on the rough ends, in this case, it's just electrical.
Right.
Right, they've got approval on that. And then pretty much you get all this, drywall, or in this case, this side paneling installed. Sometimes they'll inspect nailings on it,
Yeah.
right?
Insulation. Yeah.
Yeah, and insulation. So if those are there, then they're okay with it, right? So you may have to open some of these side panelings and close it back up.
Sometimes you can sell these as is, though.
Sometimes
even
as is,
some
yeah.
lenders, as long as it doesn't look like anything's wrong,
Yeah.
they'll take it.
You can see that grade.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
pretty flat.
So from that corner to here, it's that 6-inch drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so what do they do? Jack up the foundation?
They'll jack up this side here, and that side over there to kind of just level it up, get some pins in, settle it. Yeah. Then obviously having 2 stories, you can feel it upstairs as well. But, again, this is a habitable rental.
Yeah.
Depending on what somebody wants to do,
Exactly.
they can bring somebody right back in here. You know, market value for rents are between $1,800 to $2,000 a month.
Right. But as a, let's say, if I was to buy it and did it, just fixed it up for rental, am I responsible to fix the floor?
Not
Or no?
necessarily, no.
And
But if you're gonna resell it, then you would.
if yeah, right.
Right.
As long, what if I said, what if I resell it as is?
You can, so long as the buyer's
As
willing
long
to
as
accept it.
yeah,
Yeah, and then
but I wouldn't
their
get as much.
responsibility.
No,
Right.
that's what he's doing now.
Right.
I don't know, right?
Gotcha.
That means there could be some desperation from a buyer standpoint. There
Right.
could be the demand, they wanna be here. There's not very much inventory here.
Right.
And so anybody who wants to live here, maybe it's a family from the Travis Air Force Base.
True.
Who wants a property here.
Right.
You know, and they're like, hey, we'll rent it out or we'll buy it.
Right.
You know, yeah, there is some flaws, there's flaws.
Right.
You know, let's ask for a discount on the
Right.
flaws.
Right.
Yeah. So it just depends on who wants it, and of course, you sell it as is, and they take responsibility of the repairs after
Right.
that.
With the floor being uneven, as far as like for a long term standpoint, would it be better if let's say I'm planning on buying it, renting it out, and then selling it down the road, but not for another 40 years? Would it be better to fix it now, or just wait till you're planning on selling the house? You know what I mean? If you don't fix the problem now, would it be an issue later on down the road? Would it be even more of a headache later on down the road than?
Well, you know, this has been here since '77.
Right.
So, you know, let's say it's almost 50 years.
Right.
Right. And it settles 6 inches.
Right.
You know, I mean, it will continue, but
Right.
it's, you know, incremental over the years.
Right.
For a long-term hold like that, yeah, you may drop down another inch,
Mhm.
right? But it's gonna continue
Right.
to drop regardless. Even if you settle it now and fix it now, there's still gonna be some incremental settling.
Right.
So if you fix it now, 50 years from now, there will still be those new deficiencies, right?
Right.
Some new settling.
So maybe hold
Right.
Yeah, so it's gonna continue to happen. You're just that close to the water.
Right.
That's what it is.
So what kind of stuff are you guys kind of looking for, as far as just doing a walk around?
I'm looking for any obvious signs or problems, right? I mean, obviously you feel sloping in the floor,
Right.
but I don't want to see anything crippling on the outside. I'm always looking at the roof,
Right.
looking for water stains. I can see the HVAC's old. I know this area's in a flood zone, so I keep that in mind. You see the rusted gutters and some dry rot. I bet the roof is actually okay. It's all those extras that hurt you on these things.
Right.
Right? The kitchens, the baths, the flooring, all that stuff you can predict pretty easily.
Right.
It's the extras, you know, spending 10 grand on HVAC, 10 grand on a roof.
What's your strategy on this as acquisition and exit? Or what's your exit strategy, I should say? Are you
Selling-
flipping it?
Flipping it.
Okay.
You got anything to add, Ray, as far as kind of stuff what you would be looking for?
No, not really.
Yeah.
All it looks like, look at the eaves.
Check for rot. Yeah.
What's that?
Cracking or something. That's part of the settling, but.
Where's that? Oh, that? Yeah, that's, I don't care about that. If it's real significant, in a lot of cases, if you see some like horizontal, like thicker cracks, that usually means a drop. And I don't really see, with the floor movement in here, I don't see it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's the odd
I
thing.
didn't see one.
You would,
Actually, didn't see one big crack.
no, there's nothing on it. And they did a good job on the back stuff.
Like what are your next steps for that property we just looked at?
I want to just understand what the foundation repair would entail,
Uh-huh.
cost-wise, not necessarily from the engineer's perspective, but from the contractor's perspective.
Right.
And once
Like you were
once-
saying, it's very
everything else I can predict and forecast what it would cost, but I want to understand that. Once I get that figured out, then I know